on 12 News, trying to book a hotel in the area? Why, you're likely to be out of luck. Then, fall is here and summer blooms have faded. So why are you still sneezing? We'll look at fall allergies in Health Check. But first, new legal maneuvering that could ultimately decide the fate of the Terrace Theater. 12 News starts right now. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us. There is more legal wrangling over the Terrace Theater in Robbinsdale.
And reporter Sonia Goen says more on what's become a very emotional and controversial issue.
Mike and Alice, the same judge that denied a temporary restraining order, paving the way for demolition, is now further delaying a tear-down work. A ruling at 11:52 p.m. Monday by Hennepin County Judge Michael Brown gives more time for an appeal process to go forward. On Saturday, demolition crews started knocking down the Terrace Theater, but 5 minutes after work began, a different judge signed papers to stop work. St. Louis Park-based Inland Development Partners wants to buy the Terrace Theater site. When asked several times whether Hy-Vee would still build on the site, the company would not say.
Well, our intent right now is to make that site ready for redevelopment, clearing blighted properties from it, preparing the land itself to be redeveloped into a site that's useful in serving Robbinsdale for many decades to come.
Meanwhile, the group trying to save the theater, Friends of the Terrace, is going to have to raise a lot of money if they want to save the building. That's because Judge Brown granted 2 requests for bond money, including a request for $2.8 million bond by property owner New York-based Brixmor Property Group. Money the company says it would lose if the deal to sell the property fell through. A $3.5 million bond was also granted for the Robbinsdale Economic Development Authority. That's the amount the city says it will lose in revenue. Now, Friends of the Terrace has to come up with 100% of the bond monies by Friday at 4:30 p.m. If it doesn't come up with the money, Brixmor can proceed with tearing down the Terrace Theater. Mike and Alex, Friends of the Terrace, say they're still trying to decide what to do next.
Stay tuned.
Yeah,
more to come.
Stay tuned. More to come.
All right. Thank you. Authorities continue to investigate a bank robbery inside the Golden Valley Lunds and Byerly's grocery store. Police say the robbery occurred at the U.S. Bank branch inside the store late Friday afternoon. The robber had on a fake beard and was wearing a yellow rain poncho and a Los Angeles Kings ball cap. No weapon was displayed. Nobody was hurt. As we went to air, no arrests had been made. Ryder Cup Week has begun and golf fans are flocking to the Twin Cities.
Area hotels and restaurants should benefit greatly from this event. Eric Nelson joins us now to talk about the impact in the northwest suburbs. Eric?
Yeah, Alex and Mike, the Ryder Cup is a cash cow for hotels in the northwest suburbs. This event has a global footprint. People from 160 countries and across the United States are coming to see Europe battle the U.S. on the links at Hazeltine. The Ryder Cup is expected to pump $350 million into the Twin Cities, and some of that cash will flow into this area.
It really extends to the whole Twin Cities area and beyond. So we're just getting a chance to experience what we call some of the osmosis effect. People are not coming just for the golf tournament. They're here for that reason, but they also need a place to lay their heads. They need a place to have dinner, and they need some things to do in their off time.
An online check reveals that there is very little room at the inn this week. Most Twin Cities hotels are full, including the Northwest Burbs. If there is availability, be prepared to fork out lots of dough. Hotel prices are the highest in Twin Cities history, making this a profitable week for the lodging business.
The hotels are really experiencing full capacity from Wednesday through Sunday, unlike a lot of events that are just a weekend type of an event. So from that perspective, many of them are telling us that it's the most lucrative week that they've seen on their books ever, which is pretty impressive.
Now, the PGA alone booked 29,000 rooms in the Twin Cities. Estimated Ryder Cup attendance is 250,000. According to the St. Paul Pioneer Press, the price for some all-access tickets is $1,800. So save your money, Alex and Mike, if you want to go.
Big money involved. All right, thank you. In Brooklyn Park, it's a nod to Canada. The City Council approved plans for a Tim Hortons, the largest Canadian fast food chain. Timmy's, as it's called north of the border, would be built at the site of a former gas station on 85th Avenue just east of Highway 169. The chain is known for its coffee and donuts, but also offers grilled sandwiches and wraps. Brooklyn Park Council member Rich Gates raised some concerns about about traffic control when Tim Hortons opens, similar to when Krispy Kreme opened years ago to lines of cars in Maple Grove.
The Maple Grove Menards store is planning an expansion. The home improvement chain is planning a 22,000 square foot warehouse addition, as well as adding a nearly 1 acre expansion to its lumberyard. Menards says the expansion will lead to a better shopping experience. Construction could begin in the spring.
There's an effort next month to encourage students in Minnesota to apply for college. Minnesota's 30 colleges and 7 universities are waiving all application fees from October 24th until October 31st. It's part of College Knowledge Month, which encourages high school students and others to learn more about college options and apply to schools. At North Hennepin Community College in Brooklyn Park, the application fee is normally $20, but starting October 24th, that fee will be waived for a week.
Not only does it encourage students to apply, but it also helps other students who might have trouble finding that $20 to pay the application fee. We have a very diverse student background, so some students might not be able to afford that $20 application fee.
And students who visit and tour North Hennepin during the MEA week on October 20th and 21st can also have the fee waived if they apply in person. Well, this Saturday is a big day for 3 local wrestling legends.
Well, that's right. John Gregelko, Stan Kowalski, and Alan Rice will be inducted into the Minnesota Wrestling Hall of Fame on Saturday. The Hall of Fame is located in Robbinsdale, and 12 News spoke with Alan Rice about the honor. Rice is a former U of M wrestler who competed in the 1956 Olympics and also coached the U.S. Olympic team in 1972. He believes wrestling teaches many life lessons.
Well, I think wrestling teaches our people determination, teaches people to get up off the mat when they've been down, and that's an important part of our political and historical background, I think. Determination, and I think the main thing is shows that the hard work pays off.
Rice is from St. Paul, but comes to Robbinsdale often and calls the city a wrestling hub. Coming up, tips to manage fall allergies. That is next in Health Check.
And then later in sports, Champlin Park's outstanding volleyball team is one of the best in the state. We'll have an update on the Rebels.
But first, more sun, but still cooler on Wednesday. We'll be right back. The official change of seasons happened last week.
But if you're like the many people affected by seasonal allergies, like us too, it's likely that you've been suffering for weeks. In today's Health Check, Elaine Cleveland has more on the fall allergy season.
For the seasonal allergies, it's difficult to get away from them.
When the season transitions from summer to autumn, Minnesotans can expect things such as cooler temperatures and fall colors. But for an estimated quarter of the population,
So that's when we tend to see the symptoms in the patients, yeah.
the change of season also means the arrival of allergies and an influx of people heading to allergy specialists.
Yeah, for my practice, it's probably in the realm of 100 to 200 patients per week during the peak of the season.
Dr. Tom Helm is a specialist from Allergy and Asthma Care in Maple Grove. He says this time of year, plants such as ragweed put out pollen, which can make life miserable for people.
Ragweed pollinates in August and September of every year, and as the level rises, people develop significant symptoms to include sneezing, itchy, watery eyes, runny nose, stuffy nose, etc.
Mold in the air is another contributing factor. Add a windy day into the mix and you've got a recipe for even more misery.
We've definitely had a lot of that lately.
The good news is that people can buy effective over-the-counter antihistamines and nasal sprays that can provide relief.
Benadryl is the stalwart that's been around for years, but it is quite sedating. So the more popular medicines today include brand names such as Zyrtec, Allegra, and Claritin. These all come in generics now.
He says those work just as well.
But if the medicine is inadequately treating their symptoms and they're looking for some more information, then those are the people we should see.
In Maple Grove, Elaine Cleveland, 12 News.
As for when the allergy season is expected to end, doctors say that ragweed is usually gone by the first week of October, but mold will extend the allergy season until early November. Keep the Kleenex handy.
Goody, yeah.
Coming up, a celebration of reading in Golden Valley.
But first, we'll visit with one of the best volleyball teams in the state. John Jacobson is in next with the story of the Champlin Park Rebels.
Champlin Park Volleyball rolling along pretty well, and here we are at the mid-season, so it seems like a good idea to take a look.
It is a good idea to take a look at them, and then having no problems with any of their conference matches. They are playing well. After back-to-back trips to the state volleyball tournament, the Champlin Park Rebels are no strangers to success. As Jay Wilcox reports, the Rebels are reaching new heights this fall.
They knew this would be a good team, but the Champlin Park girls admit they're playing even better than expected.
I'm super excited. Every day at practice we're working hard to get better. So yeah, this season's going really great so far.
I think our service receive has picked up a lot this year, and our defense, we're just making a lot more plays this year, and we can make new plays out of it, and I think that's really stepped up, especially from last year.
It's maybe a little surprising where we're at this early in the season, and hopefully we continue to build on it a little bit. But we got a lot of matches left, and we're just going to keep seeing what happens.
The Rebels enter Tuesday night with a 12-1 record, and they just moved up to number 2 in the state Class 3A rankings.
We don't usually talk about it, but I mean, it is pretty awesome that we are like that. We try not to let that get set in our mind, because obviously we need to expect everything from other teams.
For Champlin Park and other elite level teams, it's hard not to be thinking ahead to the postseason. The Rebels remind themselves to stay grounded and zero in on the present.
So we have a quote that we live by a lot. It's from Janae Alderson. It's day by day, night by night, meaning we come in every day working hard. And yes, we know what we want in the back of our mind, but just every day we come to practice with the mindset, we're here to get better, we're here to focus on our next team and just play from there.
And very rarely do we as a coaching staff remind them, hey, let's go, we got some goals here in mind. Ever since last fall, they kind of said, we'd like to accomplish a little bit more next year, and they've kind of taken it upon themselves for their workouts over the summer and things like that. So, if nothing else, we're going to have a couple of wake-up calls coming up with some upcoming matches and upcoming tournaments too, so hopefully they're ready for it.
They're dominating so far, and the Champlin Park Rebels hope this magical season lasts for a long time. Jay Wilcox, 12 Sports.
You can see the Rebels in action against Totino Grace live Tuesday night at 7 o'clock here on channels 12 and 799 and our website 12.tv. The match replays Wednesday night at 7. Champlin Park is one of 3 squads from the area in the top 10 in the Class 3A rankings. Defending state Class 3A champion Egan remains the top-ranked team in the state this week. The Wildcats enter play with a 16-0 record. Then it's Champlin Park sliding up to the number 2 spot, followed by Lakeville South and Prior Lake. Hopkins is ranked 5th, just ahead of Wayzata. The Royals beat the Trojans in 5 sets 2 weeks ago, and the teams meet again on Thursday. Shakopee, Roseville, North St. Paul, and Lakeville North round out the top 10. Heritage Christian Academy is ranked 4th in Class A. Cooper head football coach Willie Howard is in his 7th year with the program. Willie becoming Coach Howard almost didn't happen, except for something his stepson and current Cooper player, Phoenix Sproles, said to him years ago. Here's a clip from Jason Malillo's story on Phoenix.
Howard might not even be a football coach if it wasn't for something his stepson said to him many years ago, shortly after Howard's pro football career had come to a disappointing end.
The true relationship was established from him in 3rd grade. I had felt very uncomfortable with football, mad at the Vikings because my career was cut short, and then the owner didn't want to compensate me for my workers' comp after 16 surgeries. So I was feeling sorry about myself. I was saying, I don't like football, I'm going to give up on any type of coaching. And then Phoenix at 3rd grade got to play tackle football for the first time, had never played. He said, hey Dad, can you help me in football? Will you be my coach? No, I'm not trying to be a coach. I'm not trying to do it. Football hasn't been done. And his response to me was, it's not about you anymore, it's about me.
He uses me as an example to some of the kids sometimes, as kind of just prepare yourself, do your job in the classroom. It kind of, what you do in the classroom reflects what you do on the football field, he always says, and I kind of take that to heart.
You can see the rest of the Phoenix Sproles story and much more in this week's edition of Sports Jam. It's on through Wednesday at 3:30, 6:30, and 9:30 p.m. here on Channel 12. Good lesson to learn.
Yeah, you hooked me. Interesting story there. Thanks, John. In Local Vote 2016, we continue to hear from candidates running for the Robbinsdale School Board.
Yesterday, 2 challengers, and today we have 2 incumbents. Sherry Terrell was first elected to the school board in 2007, and John Vento is running for his 2nd term on the board.
I'm Sherry Terrell. I have represented our community on the Robbinsdale School Board for the past 9 years, and I'm asking for your continued support and vote as I run for a third term. For the past 3 years, I've provided leadership as board chair. It was my privilege to guide the process as our board selected a new superintendent, Dr. Carlton Jenkins, to continue the path we have set towards academic excellence for every child in our schools. We are a diverse district best able to prepare our children for the world around us, and it has been exciting to be a part of this work. I love what I do on your behalf for our kids, our schools, and our community. Again, I ask for your support and vote to continue the path we have set. Please vote Sherry Terrell, November 8th. Thank you.
I'm John Vento, and it has been an honor and privilege to serve as a school board member for Robbinsdale area schools for these past 4 years. Parents, families, and voters have told me they value a champion for Robbinsdale area schools with an honest approach, a commitment to fiscal responsibility, and an insistence on open communication between our schools and families. Public education is the foundation for a strong and diverse community. Our administrators, teachers, parents, and community leaders must work together to make all Robbinsdale area schools equally successful. With 4 years on the school board, plus my track record in business and legislative advocacy for our students, I have the experience needed to bring forward the solutions our district needs to successfully improve the achievement for all of our students. Please vote on November 8th.
And tomorrow, one more incumbent running for the Robbinsdale School Board. Still ahead, some Golden Valley seniors receive a special little gift.
We'll be right back. And finally, a blessing for seniors in Golden Valley.
And so we asked your blessing on this work as well as the books that will pass through this little door. And we asked this.
Residents of Covenant Village Senior Living Community have something new to celebrate. They now have a little free library on their campus, which is also accessible to neighborhood families. Two Covenant Village residents, Emery Erickson and Dick Davidite, came up with the idea and built it themselves. This week happens to be Active Aging Week, so it's a perfect week to highlight the work of seniors.
Well done.
Yeah,
nice.
That's a nice looking little library.
Yeah, and built by them. That's great.
That's it for now. Thanks so much for joining us, everyone.
We will see you back here again on Wednesday, starting at 4 o'clock.